Well, good evening, greetings, and salutations. This is Passionate Bliss, and I'm here again tonight with questions, comments, useless facts about me, and tips for us all. But first, go to my YouTube channel, Passionate Bliss, comment, like, subscribe, share, and I will talk to you over there. I love talking to you over there. My full video will always be over there, and eventually, I will only be over there once I roll out my online fashion line, Black Love, and is currently available on my online store, mypassionatebliss.myshopify.com. If you're on your laptop, you'll see it in the right hand corner, or other information underneath that. You'll see the link. Click on it and it will take you directly to my store. I hope to see you over there also. Okay, so this week and last week we were reviewing the 5 love languages, because this is a relationship channel, as I've said many times. And my goal on this channel is to reconnect men and women in spite of the growing divide. I believe we can conquer it by communication and by dialogue. And so this channel will focus on reconnection and love. And with that in mind, we have been focusing on the tools for reconnection. When I ask, everyone always says that communication is the most important thing in a relationship. So we want to perfect the art of communication. And with that in mind, we have been using the information found in a book by Gary Chapman, published in 1992, called The 5 Ways to Express and Experience Love Between Romantic Partners. Because we all come from different backgrounds, different places. We have different family dynamics. And what was taught to us as the way to show love may be totally different for the person we're with. So we want to be able to identify the 5 love languages and speak to our partner in a way that they can recognize as love, because we may have the totally opposite love languages. Okay, first we decided on a definition of love. The definition was that love is a feeling. It's a feeling of warmth, of tenderness, of deep affection, of intimacy, of attachment, and fondness. And so when we communicate both verbally and non-verbally, we want to make sure that our partner feels love. If you care about that relationship, if you want that relationship to grow and thrive instead of die and wither away, then what you will want to do is learn how to recognize your partner's love language. You want to speak to them in their love language, even if it's the opposite of yours. You just have to be willing to learn. And if you're not willing to learn, if you want to say, don't change me, accept me as I am, this is the way I do things, and you don't want to learn to communicate love to them, then you are wasting your time and you are wasting their time. And you need to go ahead on and wrap that up. And pardon my French, you need to get the hell on, instead of making that person miserable trying to feel loved by you. Okay, when you have no intention of changing or learning what their love language is so that your relationship can succeed. Now, I first learned about this book by Gary Chapman because I was talking to a man I had just met, and he said, hey, what's your love language? I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. He said, go take the love language quiz, come back and tell me what your love language is, which was great because he was cutting to the chase, cutting out the middleman. He didn't have to figure out what my love language was and how I perceive love. So he was asking me. So I took the test. I came back. I told him, and so that was actually a good way. It also increases self-awareness. So I thought this was a valuable tool to introduce to us, and we have discussed them throughout last week and this week. We've been practicing, and so today we're going to take the quiz, or at least a portion of it, because it's kind of lengthy and it's very individual, very subjective, but I want to examine a few of the questions so that we can recognize how they speak to each other's love language. And so we'll do that. But first, we're going to go ahead and review the 5 love languages, how to recognize what is your mate's love language, and how you can speak to it. Okay, number one was words of affirmation. Okay, these are the people who will say, don't talk to me like that. Or these are the people who would say, who always will say, this is how I feel. This is how you made me feel. Okay, and I felt this way. These are the people who use words to express how they feel. They use words to express how they love you. And they use words to receive affirmation, warmth, tenderness. To these people, you can never tell them I love you enough. Okay? And to these people, they'll want to talk about how they feel and how they felt. And so for these people, verbal communication is very important. And so you want to make sure that you are recognizing that that's their love language and address it. How will you address it? You'll be the one who wants to tell them, how amazing you think they are, how smart you think they are, how well you think they did handling this situation, how proud of you that you are, how much you appreciate what they did. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being there. And I think you did a great job. You really killed it, and these are the people who need those words. You can give them all the gifts, all the hugs, all the, whatever, but they need to hear it. They need to hear it in order to feel loved by you. And what you want is for them to feel loved. If you're in a relationship that you value, you want them to feel love. It's a feeling, okay? And so for them, words are very important. Thank you for listening. What would I do without you? I don't know, and I don't want to know. So for them, that means a lot. And you have to speak to them that way because that's their love language, okay? Number 2, receiving of gifts. This is not the gold digger's love language. For these people, it is the thought that counts. And you'll hear them say that. And these are the people who will say, buy me something pretty if you go out, and these are the people who they're always bringing you little gifts, and so that's how you can tell. I had a friend and I was saying, why are you giving me these things? And she will say, because I love you and I appreciate our relationship and I want you to know that. And I said, that's done by gifts? And she said, yes. So I didn't realize that was how people do it because I'm a language person. And so I started giving her little gifts. And so that's one of the ways you can identify if your mate is someone who uses gifts, receiving gifts. And it does not have to be expensive. You will not break your piggy bank. You just have to buy them little things to show that you thought about them. If they work on their feet all day, buy them a little foot massager. I saw one at Walmart for $20. If there's somebody who uses pens and you always see them looking for pens, or they're always inadvertently stealing pens because they write a lot, buy them a pack of pens when you're out and bring it home. Or buy them the little Post-it notes. I use Post-it notes. That's my memory, is a Post-it note. And so somebody who uses those things a lot, if you go out and you're buying something, and they don't even know you're out shopping, if you come home with a pack of pens or a little Post-it, they'll be like, thank you, and they will realize that you thought about them. That's the purpose of the people who have receiving gifts as their love language, to know that you thought about them. Even if you take what it cost you to give it to them, if you take time to search for something for them, that really means a lot to them. So gift giving, those are the people who, they say it's the thought that counts, and they mean that. It does not have to be expensive, okay? And so the third language, what's that? Acts of service. These are people who, when you do things for them, they recognize love in that. If her car is dirty and you clean your car, because guys, I've seen them spend hours at the car mart or at the car wash just rubbing and polishing their cars. If your lady's car is dirty, take her car too when you get back. Go clean hers. And she will appreciate that as an act of service. Okay, ladies, if he, comes home tired, is late, give him a massage before bedtime. He'll appreciate that as an act of service if that's his love language. These will be the people who say, you can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? These are people who will say actions speak louder than words. So you can kind of identify their love language, through that way. And you want to return the act of service, okay? Give them a little coupon that says, I'll clean one room for you. Or a coupon for a kiss or a hug, a real hug, okay? And so that's act of service. And so to them and those people, because of where they came from and how they were raised, when you do something for them that they didn't ask you to do and that's outside of your normal role, they will appreciate that and they will see it as love. It will mean love to them, okay? And so number 4, what's that one? Quality time. These are the people you can recognize if they say things like, well, you're always too busy for me, or we used to go places and now we don't. So you have to recognize that what they're asking for is your time and your attention, your undivided attention. No TV, no cell phone, no kids. One-on-one concentration, eye contact, listening to them, listening for their emotions, sharing your thoughts and your feelings and your desires, not about the kids and what they did and where you have to go and what you need to do tomorrow. Contact about them and about you, how you feel. Listen for emotions so that you can respond to emotion. Okay, these are the people who want your quality time, and you have to make the time. You have to take the time from something else. We're all busy, but they need you to take that time to give to them in order for them to feel loved. Okay, because when you give them your time, even if you're busy, 15 minutes on the phone, one-on-one, paying attention, not doing something else, focusing on them, that's love. That says love to them. And they recognize it and receive it as love. Okay? And so what's the last one? 5, physical touch. You can recognize the people whose love language as physical touch in the things they do. Okay, these are the people who will say it's in his kiss. You have that song, "It's in His Kiss," or like the one artist said, "He wouldn't touch me like that." And so, or you can feel it in their touch. These are people who touch means a lot to them. Does not mean sex. You need to touch them without it leading to sex. These are the people who are comfortable with public displays of affection. They don't care how many people are there. Now, I don't agree with tonguing you down in public. That's not necessary. Go get a room, go home. But, people who are okay with, hand holding in public, who are hugging in public, they'll rub your back in public. These are the people who, if you're not touchy-feely, you have to learn to be touchy-feely in order to address their love language, for them to recognize it as love. Otherwise, they will feel distant, disconnected. They will feel like they don't belong to you. They will feel insecure if you don't meet their love language, whatever their language is. So for people who are... their love language is physical touch. These are people who like to cuddle. If you're not a cuddler, too bad, so sad. If you want that relationship, learn to cuddle, okay? You have to hold their hands. You have to rub their back when you walk past them. You have to sit close to them. Even if there's a whole couch on the other side, they want to sit right up under you, because touch is their love language, okay? And if you care about that relationship, if you want that person, you will learn to cuddle. You will learn to sit up under them. You will learn to touch their leg when they're in the car. You will learn to hold their hand when you talk to them, if you want that relationship. If you don't, as I said, pardon my French, get the hell on, leave them alone, okay? And so, so let's go ahead and review a few questions. Now, the site that this love language quiz is on that I'm taking is called 5, lovelanguages.com/quizzes, okay? So I'm just going to look at a few of the questions because it is a lengthy quiz. And this video is already 11 minutes. You know I don't like to do more than 5. And I know that your time is valuable and you ain't got 11 minutes to spend with me. So let's go ahead and take a look at the quiz real quick. And we'll just kind of identify, based on the questions and the answers available, what the love language represented there is, okay? Like number 1, on the love language quiz, okay? I already know what mine is because I took it. So you can take it too. Number 1, it is more meaningful to me when A, I receive a loving note, text, email for no special reason from my loved one. Or B, it is more meaningful to me when my partner and I hug. So hug will be what? Physical touch. And the text or the email will be what? What do you think that one is? I think it's words of affirmation, okay? Because these are words they're reading. So I'm going to put which one I would like. I'm going to go with hug on this one. It says also number 2, I spend more time alone with my partner. It's more meaningful to me when I spend time alone with my partner, just the two of us. Or B, my partner does something practical to help me out. So that spend time alone with the two of us will be what? What do you think that one is? I think that would be quality time. Or my partner does something practical to help me out. Which one is that one? It's acts of service. I'm going to go with time alone. I'm not a big acts of service person. Okay, so the third one, it's more meaningful to me when my partner A gives me a little gift as a token of our love for each other. Or B, I get to spend uninterrupted leisure time with my partner. So what's that one? Number 1, the little gift will be the receiving gifts question, okay? And the B one, I get to spend uninterrupted leisure time. That's going to be what? It's going to be quality time. I'm going to go with B for quality time. Okay, I'm only going to look at a couple more, and then we'll go ahead and go, and we're going to experiment. And you're going to go to that site, and you're going to find out what your love language is, not just so you can get insight into yourself, but so that you can tell the person that you're interested in, that is your love interest, that is your partner, or you want to be your partner, you can tell them what it is you need. I believe in setting people up to succeed. So if you know what you want and what you need, you can tell them. Okay, I'm that person that I'm not ashamed of this. I tell people what I want. If it's a holiday or an event that's coming up, I tell them what I want. And you know what? I probably get that from my mother because every year she tells me what she wants for her anniversary. Half the time I've forgotten it's her anniversary. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is her anniversary. But she sets us up to succeed because she thought about it. She tells us what she wants. So it's okay if you find out what your love language is and you tell that person what it is and you help them to succeed. You help them to succeed. And that is okay. And so that's the purpose for me. And I think I want for you is to know yourself well enough that you can tell that person what it is you want and they can give it to you. If they care about you and they value you, if you tell them what it is you want, they'll give it to you. I remember I told one gentleman what I wanted one year for a gift, and he said, "Oh, thank you, sweetie. Now I don't have to worry about what to get for you." And he gave me exactly what I asked for. I told him where it was, how much it cost, and that I wanted it, and that's what I wanted. He had it for me. We had a great holiday season. So I don't think that that's a bad thing. You're setting yourselves up to succeed, and I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Even as a manager of my staff, I set them up to succeed. I believe in setting ourselves up to succeed. And to me, this is one of the tools of communication that we can use to help ourselves succeed. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at there. This video is already 15 minutes, way too long. You got stuff to do, and I do too. And so I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna wish you good hunting, and I hope that you learn about yourself with this quiz and learn about your partner maybe, and be able to identify the traits that your partner displays and try to answer their love language so that they can what? First and foremost, the beginning and the end is for them to feel loved and to be able to love you in return. And with that being said, y'all have sweet dreams. Wait to find them all real.